So I've shown you the provisional cast on, and now I'm going to show you making the stitches live again. Now, of course, every time I do this, I feel like it's not going to go smoothly, so we'll see. Now, if you remember, I suggested that you tie a knot on the end that you will be pulling from, and that's why it sometimes can get messy, as if I forget that knot. So here we go. Can you see that? Uh-oh, got a little snaggy. There it goes. Okay. Well, looky there. Oops, my knot. Now all of your stitches are live. So you can, if you're doing, such as I am, the 3-needle bind off, just take your needle and pick up your stitches. Ta-da! Now we're ready to do our 3-needle bind off. I really like this bind off. I think it's pretty easy for seaming 2 ends together. You just need another needle the same size as what you've been using, or a size bigger, doesn't really matter. Sometimes it can give you a little extra if you tend to bind off too tightly. And all you're going to do is go in through the front of the stitch on the front needle, and go in through the front of the stitch on the second needle, and then you're going to knit those 2 together and pull them off the needle. You're going to do the exact same thing. It can get, oops, sorry about that. It can get a little tight sometimes. There we go. And then now you're going to, just like regular bind off, you're just going to pull the first stitch over the second stitch. For 3-needle bind off, you typically will have your right facing sides together, so the right facing is on the inside, and then you just keep going. Sorry. And just be careful not to do it super tight. That is something that I tend to do, so I have to be conscious of not getting those stitches too snug and too tight, so that my final seam won't be puckering or pulling in. And you just keep doing that all the way down the line. If I have to choose between mattress stitching something or doing a 3-needle bind off, I will choose 3-needle bind off every time. Because it's really just like knitting 2 together, right? You're just knitting 2 together off of 2 different needles, but it's not that hard. And then you're just slipping it. And of course you can use the front needle if that's more comfortable for you. Whatever works for you is what is appropriate. And keep knitting those 2 stitches together off that needle, those needles, and slipping that first stitch off over the second stitch, just like you normally would in the standard bind off. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have gone back and forth. My needles keep jockeying for who's in the lead, and whoever's in the lead gets to slip that stitch. And last but not least, you'll just have one stitch, and you just do that like usual. And then just, of course, you can break that yarn and pull it through. Or if you like, you can also kind of go in through the next stitch and then pull that over. And it just kind of secures it a little bit better. You know, sometimes you get the kind of floppy last stitch when you're binding off, and that just kind of tugs them together a little better. And then I don't know if you watched my stockinette brioche video, but here is the front side of that striping. Super pretty, right? Really nice even little lines. And then how cool is this? I absolutely love this texture. Isn't this just so neat? So if you're looking for a double-sided piece, but you don't necessarily want it to be exactly the same on both sides, this is a really, really good option. So I hope you found this easy to follow and will enjoy using the 3-needle bind off on your own projects. And happy knitting!